Lantern hollow, lantern hollow. Come on, follow, come on, follow. Down below the old oak tree, there's a place for you and me. Fireflies and moonlit streams where the magic fills your dreams. Lantern hollow tales, lantern hollow tales, where the stories never end. Every creature is your friend.
Low cinematic. In Lantern Hollow, there are things that matter because they're big, and there are things that matter because they're small. The big things, you notice those. Of course you do. But the small things, the things that are always there, always waiting, always quietly doing their job of making everything a little better, those are the ones you only truly see when they're gone. This is Lantern Hollow. Mossy's burrow was the kind of place that felt exactly right the moment you stepped inside it. Everything had a spot. Everything in its spot had a story. The shelf of smooth stones from the brook, the pressed flowers in the bark frame on the wall, the 7 pine cones lined up by the window, biggest to smallest, like a little family. And on the highest shelf, in the centre, always the centre, a small carved wooden acorn, about the size of Mossy's paw, worn smooth at the top where she touched it every morning, carved from a single piece of sweet chestnut wood by Elder Oak himself, given to her on her last birthday, with the words,
"Voice from memory, soft and kind. So you always have something to hold on to when the day feels too large."
Every morning Mossy reached up and touched it. That was how the day started. That was just how things were.
Auntie, light confusion. That's odd. Confused. Did I move it? Or still trying to be calm? One step at a time. It's here. It's always here. I just need to look. Slightly less calm. It's not behind the stones. It's not with the pine cones. It's not under Mossy. One step at a time. Deep breath. Quietly to herself. It's gone.
It was such a quiet realization. No drama, no crash, just an absence where something had always been. And then, because grief has a way of finding company, Mossy noticed something else. Her favourite pine cone, the perfect oval one, the one she'd found the same day she moved into this burrow, was knocked on its side. Something had been in here, or she'd been more careless than she knew. Either way, it was gone. And the day, which had been perfectly ordinary 60 seconds ago, was no longer ordinary at all. Mossy searched.
Under her breath, still trying to be systematic. One step at a time. Check the obvious places first. Then the less obvious. Then the quieter. Where is it?
By late morning, Mossy had not found the acorn. She had, however, found every other thing wrong with her day. Her acorn porridge had gone cold while she searched. The little pot she kept her berry jam in was nearly empty. She'd meant to refill it 3 days ago. Her burrow suddenly felt cramped in a way it never had before. Too many shelves, not enough window. The weather was grey. That woolly, undecided kind of grey where it's not quite raining, but it won't quite stop being threatening either.
To the weather, unimpressed. Just rain, if you're going to rain.
She went to find her friends, because sometimes when things are wrong, what you need is someone to be wrong at.
In full flow. And the acorn went so far, Bramble. I'm saying it went past the elm. It basically lapped the hollow.
Laughing. That's physically impossible, Pip.
Wait. I have the best idea. What if we measured it? Right now. I'll throw it again.
Still laughing. You don't even have the acorn.
Mossy, tell Bramble that an acorn can lap a hollow.
Not quite in the mood. I've lost something. Has either of you seen a small carved wooden acorn? About this big? Smooth on top?
Immediately serious. The one Elder Oak gave you?
Yes.
Genuinely sorry. Oh no, I haven't seen it. Bramble?
Me neither. I'm sorry, Mossy. When did you last have it?
Yesterday morning. It was on the shelf. I touched it. Then this morning, it wasn't there.
Thinking hard? Could Tumble have? Actually, I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Carefully. It might be worth asking him.
Slightly more edge than intended. I'll figure it out myself.
She didn't mean to sound like that. She knew she didn't mean to. But the words came out sharper than she wanted, and she didn't go back. The problem with grief, even small grief, even the grief of a lost object, is that it narrows your eyes, makes the world look smaller and greyer than it actually is, makes everything that isn't the missing thing feel like an annoyance rather than a gift.
And very quietly, to herself, one step at a time. But which step?
The drizzle stopped. The grey stayed, but a softer grey now, less threatening, more thoughtful. Mossy took the long way back to her burrow. She wasn't quite ready to sit in the absence of the acorn again. She went through the berry patch and along the root path and past the old stone wall, and she stopped.
Confused. That wasn't there this morning.
A small pile of cloudberries, arranged almost into a circle on the flat stone by her door, the kind of thing someone does when they want to leave a gift but don't want to make it a whole thing.
Quietly. Who?
Oh no. No. That was the good jar. That was the... Yep, that's honey everywhere. That's fine. That's completely... Too quick, too casual. Coming, just... Yes, one moment. Cheerful, covered in honey. Mossy, hello. This is not what it looks like. Well, and it is what it looks like, but there's more context.
Taking in the honey situation. Tumble, were you at my burrow earlier?
Pause. No?
The cloudberries.
A longer pause, then slightly caught. Maybe?
You leave them every week, don't you?
Quietly, a little embarrassed. They're your favorites. I pass the patch on the way back from the brook, and I always look, and sometimes there's a good bunch, and then it's not a big deal.
Something moving in her voice. Tumble. It's a very big deal.
Shifting, slightly overwhelmed by compliment. It really isn't, it's just...
How long have you been doing that?
Thinking. Since... last autumn? When you were sick and I brought you soup and you said the cloudberries in it were the best part and you looked so happy about it, and I thought, that's a thing I can do. So I kept doing it.
Softly, almost stunned. I never asked who left them.
You weren't supposed to. That was the... I didn't want it to be a thing.
A small, slightly overwhelmed laugh. It's very much a thing.
They sat together, Tumble with his honey disaster and Mossy with her cloudberries still in her paws. And Mossy thought about all the mornings she'd found those berries and just thought, oh, nice, and moved on. She went home slowly, and for the first time that day she looked around instead of at the ground, past the mushroom patch, and she remembered, with a small jolt, that Pip had spent an afternoon last month driving away the grey slugs that kept eating the edges of Mossy's favourite mushroom clump. She'd complained about the slugs to Pip once, just once, and Pip had quietly done something about it, past Elder Oak's great roots, and she saw that the little windbreak of woven branches Elder Oak had built near her door, the one that meant her burrow never got the bad north winds in winter, had been freshly tightened. Recently, quietly, without a word, all of it had always been there, all of it had been doing its quiet work. She just hadn't stopped to see it.
Very quietly. Oh.
Arriving slightly out of breath. Mossy, I wanted to help look. For the acorn. If that's still... I know you said you'd figure it out yourself, but I'm very good at finding things. Well, I find things. Sometimes.
Warmly. You also lose things.
Honest, I do. I really, really do. But they're usually still nearby.
One step at a time. Let's look again. Together.
Quietly, handling things gently. It's a very nice place, your burrow, Mossy.
Do you think so?
It feels like you, which is a good thing. Everything in the right place. Everything has a story.
A soft tumble.
Oh, no. Oh, no, no. Very small voice. Is that
Barely breathing. Don't move.
whispering? Did it fall? Was it behind the rock this whole time?
Very quietly. It must have been. It must have rolled off the shelf at some point and gotten behind the bottom of the stone. I never thought to look there.
Cautious. Are you okay?
A long, complicated exhale. Yes, I think I am.
Whispering. Elder Oak is here.
Unhurried. I heard you were searching.
I found it. It was behind the rock by the shelf. It must have rolled.
A quiet, understanding sound. Good.
Looking at the acorn. I was awful this morning. I was sharp with Pip and Bramble. I was so focused on what was gone. I couldn't see anything else.
That is how it goes sometimes.
But all of it was there. Tumble's berries, Pip, and the mushroom patch, your windbreak, everything I have. I just stopped seeing it.
Mossy. Gratitude is not a feeling you wait to have. It is not something that arrives on its own when things are good enough. It is something you practice. Like a path through the woods. The more you walk it, the clearer it becomes. Walk it only when it's convenient, and the brambles grow back. The hollow remembers those who finish what they start. You started a search today, looking for what mattered. You found the acorn, but I think you found other things along the way.
Quietly. I think I found everything else first.
A warmth in his voice, almost a smile if trees can smile. Yes, that is often how it works.
Very carefully, not wanting to ruin the moment, but also very much wanting to contribute. I left the berries again today, by the way. In case you were wondering, for when you found the acorn, I thought you might want a snack.
A laugh that catches in her throat and comes out warm and wobbly. Tumble.
I'm just saying, one step at a time. Step 1, find the acorn. Step 2, eat the berries.
They ate the cloudberries on the doorstep as the afternoon went golden. Mossy held the carved acorn in her paw and thought, this is what I have. This and this and this. All of it here. All of it always here.
Softly, touching the acorn's worn top. One step at a time.
Contentedly,
That night, Mossy put the carved acorn back on the highest shelf, in the centre, exactly where it belonged. She touched the worn, smooth place at the top, and then she did something she hadn't done before. She touched the pine cones, the smooth stones from the brook, the pressed flowers in the bark frame, the doorstep, the windbreak outside. One step at a time. Excited whisper next time in Lantern Hollow.
Practically vibrating. Wait! I have the best idea. Bake Off. The Hollow's first ever Bake Off. One rule. Bake it for someone else.
Concerned? Pip, is that supposed to be that color?
Undeterred. That is called caramelized.
That is called on fire.
Still fully confident. I have a plan.
In the Great Hollow Bake-Off, everyone wants to win, but only one baker is baking for the right reason. Episode 7. The Great Hollow Bake-Off.
Lantern Hollow Tales, where the stories never end. Every creature is your friend. Lantern Hollow Tales.